Hi guys, welcome back to Deliberate, Conscious and Candy Talks. My name is Roslyn Wanjiko. I am excited today because I get to do one of those very many things I've always admired to do, and that is interview people who inspire me, and I know people who will inspire you as well, and as they share the story of their lives. Now, let me just share a scripture before I introduce her to you all from the book of Proverbs, chapter 27, verse 17. And it says that people learn from one another just as iron sharpens iron. And I hope with that verse, we all know what this is about. I get to interview one person that I've admired for a long time. She's a woman of faith. She's a wife. She's a mother. She's also a career woman. And she'll be taking us through that whole journey of her life. And I'm sure you will be inspired. And thank you also because you've shown so much love to my video that I've recorded. That is the very first song I got to release. And I'm very grateful. Let's keep watching. Let's keep sharing. I'm sure it's blessing the souls of many. And now to my guest, Karibu Sana.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming here.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. At this time, I'd like to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself to them, reintroduce. I've said a few things, but you can go ahead and introduce yourself to us.
Okay, I feel honored to be a part of this program.
Yeah.
And my name is Dr.Naomi Mbugua. We go to the same church with Rosary, and we have known each other for a long time since she was young.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be associated with her because she is also a young woman of faith.
Sure.
Just as I am a woman of faith,
True.
she is also a young woman of faith from her early age. Yeah, and I admire her.
Thank you.
Yes, so thank you very much.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. So we'll just get right into your story that I consider very inspiring. And I've wanted to do interviews for a very long time. But I think because of just God's timing, I've reached out to a number of people, some famous, some just from around.
Yes.
But God saw it fit that you'd be my very first guest.
Yeah, that is.
To grace this new project.
Okay.
Oh my God, and I'm very, very humbled.
I also feel humbled to be a part of this.
Amazing.
Yes.
So, Dr. Naomi, let's just refer to you as that. Kindly just give us a brief story of where you come from, your upbringing, that is, where you were born and raised up.
Okay. My life history starts from Muranga. I was born in Muranga at a place near a place called Gatura.
Okay.
There is a Gatura market. And I'm the firstborn.
Yeah.
We are 7 of us. So there are 6 siblings after me. So I'm the firstborn. So you can imagine being a firstborn at that time.
Yes.
I have played a very great role in the family. And then later on, because of the Mau Mau period, there were no schools in Muranga where we were near Gatura.
Okay.
Because we were interrupted by Mau Mau fighters. So I had to move back to Kiambu, where my mother came from. So I grew up with my grandfather and my grandmother.
Wow.
So actually I was brought up after 8 years or 7 years, up to the time I got married. I grew up in my grandparents' place in Kiambu. It's a place in Githunguri, a place called Gathiroini or near Kaboi Church.
All right.
Yes, that's where I grew up.
Oh, amazing.
So I was brought up by both my parents and also my grandparents. Later, they also came to join us at the Gathiroini.
Your parents now?
My parents.
All right.
And we were given a piece of land to stay on our own.
Okay.
Yeah, by my grandfather. Yeah, my grandparents. So we were able to grow up together and the grandparents. Yeah.
And that makes the two of us, because I happen to have been brought up in the hands of both my grandma and also my mom.
Yes.
And I can tell you for sure that being in the hands of also your grandparents is such a privilege.
Yes.
Because they have a lot of things to offer, a lot of wisdom.
Yeah.
Now, we hear you calling yourself Dr. Naomi Mbugua. So where does this doctor come from? Is it a doctor who treats? Or is
it's an academic doctor.
Amazing.
Because I have been a teacher throughout my career life. Throughout my career life, I was a teacher. So my education started in Gathiroine, as I have told you. Standard 1 to 4. We used to do an external exam in Standard 4 called the Common Entrance. Then you go to another school with the Standard 5 up to 8, or which had the Standard 1 up to 8. So I moved on. It was called upper primary. If you pass, many people did not make it to go to Standard 5. It was during the colonial time. That was, I started my Standard 1 in 1954. That's when I went to Standard 1. So 54, 55, 56, 57, I was in that lower primary. After Common Entrance, I went to upper primary, where I did my KCPE in 1961. Yes. And then after 1961, I went to high school, Alliance Girls High School. That time, it was called African Girls High School, during the colonial days. Then I was there for 6 years, up to Form 4. We did the Cambridge School Certificate. The exams were set in Oxford.
Oh my goodness! In those times, you
Actually,
managed
it was
to...
Cambridge. Yes, they were marked there. And the results came from there. So I did the Cambridge School Certificate in 1965. Then I went to Form 5 and 6 in 1966.
Still in Kenya?
Still in Alliance.
Oh, right. Okay. They had that provision.
Yes. They had,
that was the system.
And there were a few schools that time. Those who didn't have Form 5 and 6, they had to move to Alliance. Where there was Form 5 and 6.
That is if you
it
had
was
passed.
Called the higher education. So I did my Cambridge higher education exam in 1967. Yes.
How come you were not distracted? Because I can imagine how much distraction there was in your times in terms of getting married. Some people just dropped out maybe because of finances and got married. What made you stick to your education up until that level at the time?
Of course, I don't know whether you want me to stop there with
just go ahead.
Form 6, or I go on to when I finished my school career.
Go ahead.
Because after doing the Cambridge higher exam, education exam, and we were getting Oxford certificate, Cambridge certificate. Then there was no university in Kenya that time. So we had to go to Makerere. Most of us had to go to Uganda, Makerere. Others would go to Dar es Salaam. So in fact, in our class, because if you go to Form 5, it means you are very bright. Very many people dropped in Form 4. So most of us who are bright, and then we had the others who had come from other schools. So I went to Makerere University in 1968. Of course, I taught as a UT before we were called for university.
Oh, so between that period, there was a gap?
There was a gap because I went in June or May, June to Makerere. Now between January and that time, I taught in a secondary school.
Did they call you or did you go for interviews?
I asked for it. I asked for it and I was taken.
Oh my goodness.
So after that, the results came when I was teaching there.
What were you teaching exactly?
I was teaching history. I have been a historian throughout. So then we went to Makerere, where I had a passion for teaching.
All right.
I had a passion for teaching from the time I was very young.
Wow.
I had also a passion for influencing people's lives from
Beautiful.
the time I was very young.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to be a teacher. And I was even called for a very good job after Form 6 to do accounts.
Okay.
They had even stated the salary they would give. But I had a passion for teaching.
Wow.
So I went to Makerere in 1968. I finished. I completed my studies there, the first degree, in 1971.
Okay. The first degree in teaching.
Yeah, it was a very, a disturbing period because that's when Idi Amin took over. There was a coup in Uganda at that time.
Yeah.
But we were able to do our exams in spite of the guns all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are some of the challenges you encountered.
Yeah, that was a challenge because we don't know. In fact, I had a very bad experience during that time. Yeah. Because in my hall where we were, we were staying in a hall. Okay. And I remember once I wanted to go to the washroom. I saw 6 soldiers enter. I had to go back to my room very quickly. Even the need to go to the washroom
just disappeared.
They just disappeared.
I can imagine.
Yeah. But they used to come for students who belong to Obote's place. All right. So those are some of the challenges and the fear. But we were able to complete. Okay. So anyway, simply I went to Makerere up to 1971. I got a Bachelor of Education. Okay. Then I taught in 3 high schools. I also taught in a teacher's college. All right. But before I did that, before I finished teaching in the college, I wanted to further my education. Wow. So I went and did the masters. Okay. That time, Kenyatta University had begun. That's where I went for masters. Yeah. And I got the Master of Education. Beautiful. Yes. Then later I taught after that.
Still in the lines of history?
Oh, still in the line of history, social studies. Wow. At the Kenyatta, I specialized also in curriculum development, social studies, psychology. Wow. We were doing other subjects there.
That explains, first of all, why I'm even so interested in your story, because I'm also a graduate of psychology at the University of Nairobi.
Oh, that is good. Yeah. But psychology, when you are doing education, you have to study a lot of psychology. That's true. And a lot of curriculum development studies and so on. Plus my history and social studies. Yeah. Yes.
Wonderful.
And I taught for quite a long time with my MEd or Masters of Education degree. That time I was teaching at High Ridge Teachers College. Okay. Wow. Yeah.
At what age was this?
Which age? That was 1986. I went to Makerere in to Kenyatta in 1986, and I finished there in 1987. Yeah. So after that, I taught for some time. Then I saw an advertisement at the Desta University, and I was able to go there. Wow. Still with my masters.
You saw the advertisement on a newspaper?
In a newspaper, and I applied. Wow. I was taken for interview. I went for interview, and I didn't wait. I didn't get a letter. They called me by phone. Wow. To go. Yeah. So I went. At the Desta University, I taught for about 18 years.
Oh my God. Still in the lines of history?
Still in the line of history. Yeah. And at the High Ridge, I had also been there for about 20 years. At the High Ridge Teachers College. Yes. Yeah, so it was a long time. So when I was at the Desta, that's when I applied to do my PhD studies. Wow. And I asked permission to do that. Of course, the university would pay most of the whatever was required. Okay. Yeah, I was given a scholarship by Desta, and I went to university, the Catholic University of Eastern Africa.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, to do now my PhD, also in education.
Wow.
It was also in education. I was there, and I graduated in 2013. I had a challenge when I was there. That's when I got very sick. Immediately we did our class studies before we went to do the research. I fell sick, and there is an operation called thyroidectomy, or the thyroids were removed.
Oh, okay.
And that's when I couldn't speak for 5 months.
Oh my God. What a challenge.
But I got healed. I thought I would never teach again. By the way, when I went to Catholic University, I was still teaching. Some days.
Oh, so you were teaching and studying at the same
time.
Wow. Yeah. Such a go-getter there.
A miracle happened.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful miracle because I was asking God during that time, you mean God, you don't want me to finish? It is like I was accusing God.
Yeah.
You mean you don't want me to finish my PhD studies?
Yes.
Because we had not gone to the field. God, you mean, just if there is one thing that has made you smile.
Yeah. About you.
Yeah. About what I'm doing. I was in the church that time. And I was the youth coordinator in Kanyarere Church that particular time. And the youth used to come to my house after service.
Beautiful.
And they would conduct a service in my house.
That time when you were
that time when I was not talking.
All right. Wow.
And I tell you, many of them were even shedding tears. But God healed me miraculously.
Amen.
I just woke up one day and I started talking.
We thank God.
Which was a miracle. So I finished my study. That was the challenge I have. It
was
in the middle of my PhD.
Okay.
And here I get sick and it's interrupted for almost a whole year. But I was able to go back.
Amazing.
And I did my research. My research was based on the challenges of teenage pregnancies.
Oh, okay.
That was my research. And I finished and I completed in 2013.
Wow. A challenge that is still facing teenagers to date.
Yeah. So when I continued with the Desta.
Yeah. Okay, teaching.
Teaching until I retired.
Wow, amazing.
Yes.
Now, I realize you invested a lot of your time in education. At what point did you meet your partner, your life partner?
My life partner, we met at Makerere.
Okay.
But you would know, partnership does not start all of a sudden.
True.
So I think what the men normally do, they see somebody, they want to greet that person.
Yeah.
We were singing in a choir. We had a choir.
Together, he was also,
women. There was a rally at the university, a Christian rally. And where we was, some of us, we had a choir, we had formed a choir. So we were singing in front there. And I think that's the first time my husband saw me.
Okay.
When I was singing.
Yeah.
And he said, I want to know that girl better. Yeah?
Yeah. What was he pursuing?
He was pursuing medicine that time.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Although later he changed his mind and he did accounts.
Oh, so he quit medicine?
He quit medicine and
then started accounts. At Makerere still?
No, we came to Nairobi.
All right.
And he started doing that. So that's where we started. So when he saw me in the church, normally sometimes many people see each other in the church.
Yeah.
So he saw me again there.
Okay.
So he waited until the service was complete. And he greeted, can I escort you to your house? So we went talking. It was very general.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a general friendship. And I had my roommate.
Yeah.
Sometimes he wanted to visit Kampala town. I especially visit the people from his place who are there.
Yeah.
And I would tell him, I'm not going with you alone.
Wow.
I was
How
very
principled
I
in
was
those
very
days.
apprehensive.
Okay.
So I said, unless I go with my roommate,
Wow.
I'm not going.
Uh-huh.
So we went together with my roommate.
Yeah.
So wherever he wanted to take me, I go with my roommate.
So he had to pay a bill for two.
Yeah, so that's how I met him.
Wonderful.
At Makerere.
So at what point did you decide to, was there courtship in those days?
There was courtship. And of course, you realize when a gentleman keeps on taking you out, when a gentleman keeps on coming to visit, men were allowed to visit our rooms, but they had to be given permission by someone called custodian.
We still have custodians in university.
You could not come to the room alone. You had to be in company with the other people. They were very strict. So he would come with some people and he visited our room with my roommate. Something like that.
Yeah. You made sure you had people around.
I remember a trick because we were never alone. There was always company. So there was a trick that they did in one of those visits. I think he arranged with these young men. At a time when I do this, you all go out. Even with the Lucy, who was it was called Lucy.
Your roommate.
My roommate was called Lucy. Even Lucy went out with them. So I found myself in the room with you.
With your husband.
With this man.
Yes.
And of course, he wanted to know me better, where I come from, everything.
Yeah.
But that's where real friendship now, real courtship now started.
So
but it took long. Because that was 1968, at the end of 1968, and we were getting married in 1973.
Wow. That was such a long time. He had to wait.
So it was a long time. Yeah. Because I had to finish my education first. Yeah. I had a motto. And my motto was education first, men later.
Wow.
That was my motto.
Teenagers of today,
education
you need
first,
to hear this.
Men later. And that is what I tell even like the Kanyariri, I'm a body member there.
Okay.
And when I talk to them, I tell them, you should have a motto that like the way I had. That's why I was able to finish my education. Yeah,
and finishing your education did not stop you from getting married and having a family.
No. So I graduated from Makerere in 1971. Yeah. And again, I didn't want to get married. I came from a very poor family. And I didn't want to get married before I helped them to settle down. Wow. So my first salary was to buy them a piece of land.
Wow.
Build them a house.
My goodness.
And still...
They must have been very proud parents.
Yes. Yeah. So I had to do I had a plan. Yeah. That I have to do this first. I had what we call priorities in life.
Wow, in those days.
Those were my priorities.
What made you have such staunch principles in those days?
I had it, and I told even this my boyfriend. Yeah. Or my fiancé, I told him I have to do this first.
Wonderful.
Yes. Amazing. And that's what I did.
What is that one thing or two things that attracted you most to this man at the time?
This man, actually, I didn't like men.
Okay.
No, I hated them.
Why?
Because we had a neighbor at the home who used to beat his wife very, very badly. And I remember I even used to cry when I saw him beating the wife when I was a small girl. Yeah. So I got this thing when I was very small.
All right. Okay.
That the men are bad.
Yeah, bad influence.
They are bad influence. And therefore, it took a long time. Yeah. Very many men who approached me even before my husband now. But the answer was always no. I don't want a friendship. Yeah. I had always reasons. Then this one, I don't know, I think it is the approach that he used.
Wow, man, take notes.
general friendship.
Excuse me.
You know, we were general. We would go in a group, discuss things, do that.
Wonderful.
There was no direct confrontation where you are asking somebody to be your girlfriend.
He tried to understand who you are first.
Yeah, because he saw that I was very apprehensive.
Yes.
I was very, very apprehensive. And therefore, it took his courtship, he took time.
Wow, he must have been very wise.
And
to have
even
known.
Today, he keeps on asking me, why? Why did you refuse everybody else?
and accepted me?
In fact, he was even asking me like 2 weeks ago.
What?
There's a question I have always wanted to ask you.
To date, you're able to have such conversations.
Yeah, why?
Then you're such good
why
friends.
Me?
Yes.
And then I told him the reason.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so admirable that to date you're able to have such conversations.
So the courtship, of course, he introduced me to his family.
Yes.
By the time he got married, I knew all the members of his family, his parents. He had come to my home as a visitor, you know.
Yeah.
And he met my parents, my sisters, and my brothers.
Wow.
Yes. So by the time he got married, they already knew him. And you know, I wanted to hear the comments of my mother.
All right.
In fact, my mother, there is something she asked, because he was very slim.
Yeah.
Very, very slim.
He was slim.
If you see the photo, you wouldn't believe he is the one.
There is hope.
So my mother once said, I have always wanted to ask you, why was he sick at one time?
Because of how small he was.
I said, I have never heard of such a thing. Yeah, so those are some of the moments that we had.
Wow.
And but he respected my values.
Amazing.
He respected my values. Other people, let me tell you, men, normally the mistake they make, the ones who came to me, they were asking me. There was one who wrote me a letter. We have never talked. We have never gone anywhere. We know, just a letter. I knew him because he was a classmate.
Yes.
And just asked, dearest sweetheart.
And that time you have not
and
even...
I don't know him. And of course, out straight away.
He definitely knew his motive was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was another one who would come and say, there is something I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
But you have to tell me the answer. You know, now.
They have no patience.
No patience.
Okay.
Of course, you don't know the person.
Yeah.
He's asking me very intimate questions.
Yes.
Why would you accommodate such?
And they have not taken time.
But this husband of mine,
yes,
I don't know whether he learned a lesson from them because they were all saying I'm impossible.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think that's why he had to become like a chameleon.
Sure. He was clever.
Slowly.
He was very clever. He was very clever. That's why he stood out.
I think that's why he won my heart.
Amazing.
Because of the respect.
Yeah.
That respect. And to respect my values. To respect me as a woman.
Yes.
And so on. Taking his time. That made me attracted to him.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the principles still stand for women, I guess, because one of the most important things that women look at in men is their values, their patience, their intelligence.
But it depends on the woman.
Yeah, true.
Because there are some.
That is true.
These days, there are also some women who even do the whatever, the approach.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
Isn't it?
That is also
Once
true.
Once you're attracted, you are the one who started the ball rolling.
Yes.
Which is that's not what I was taught when I was young.
Wow. All these values and principles, are these things that you got from your parents? Or where did you get all this? Because in your time, to think that a lady would want to study, take their time in studying, and follow the right path in terms of marriage is not something that was very common at the time. I can imagine that most people just did come with this, and they cannot be blamed probably because of that time. So how was it? Because of your parents, or who motivated you towards following
both
such?
My parents and my grandparents. I told you I was also brought up in my young age by my grandparents. And they taught us values. Okay. Even they were strong Christians. Yeah. My mother also used to preach in the church. My father also used to preach in the church. The same thing with my grandfather.
Yeah.
My grandfather was a preacher, and he had been sent by the church even to be where he was, to start a church there. So those are the surrounding.
Okay.
Everybody, my aunties, my uncles, they were all Christians.
Okay.
And they were very, very strict. Like my mother used to warn me. You know, my youngest, one of my uncles, I was even older than him. And she would tell, and you were very close.
Yeah.
And he was even afraid that we might become too close.
Yeah.
So he would tell me, even if John is your uncle,
yes,
remember he is a man.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Your mother was very strict.
Yeah, that's what she warned me. And of course, yeah, she warned me about many things.
Yeah.
Never accept gifts from men, especially expensive ones.
Yeah.
And I remember once, my boyfriend now, my husband,
yes,
I didn't have a watch. He came with a watch.
Okay.
And I said, I don't want it. He almost slapped me, but I said I don't want, because of what my mother had said.
told you.
But if you accept a very expensive gift,
Yes,
this man might require something from
that
you.
is true.
You might pay for it.
Yes.
And you might pay it very dearly, for it very dearly.
That's true.
So I never accepted the gifts from men.
Okay.
So they taught me. My grandfather, he is the one who used to teach like confirmation classes, baptism classes. He came from PCA church. And he was a preacher and a teacher. And he used to teach us. And sometimes he would call me, especially when I went to high school.
Yeah.
And he warned me, yeah, Naomi, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Never let a man touch you.
Okay.
Because that's where the problems begin.
Okay. Which is true.
So they all gave me many, very many tips.
All right. So I understand that in marriage, we have a lot of challenges that you encounter because of differences in how you grew up with your partner. How best did you handle those challenges, both of you? Did you have someone to talk to, or did you just deal with them internally?
We haven't had no one to talk to.
Okay.
We normally solve our problems, the both of us. We just sit down.
Yeah.
If it is a matter of faith,
yes,
we talk about it. And I know I have had a lot of influence on him.
Wow, that's
because
beautiful.
of willingness to talk. You know, there are some people who might not be willing.
That's true.
But he has been willing.
Amazing.
So we communicate those. The other thing is to be strict on our schedules. Yeah. Because the time factor is very important. And we try to communicate about it. Yes. And we try to creating time deliberately. Yes. You deliberately create time.
I love that.
Yeah, to do things. If we are discussing our plans on how to make money or something like that, we create time for that. Yes. Yeah, that's what we do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Now, did you maybe have a best couple, considering you followed the right path towards marriage in terms of having a church wedding? Did you have a best couple?
Yeah, we had a best couple. But we had many couples.
Okay.
The best couple, they are not there today.
All right.
Because the best man for my husband died very early. But at the beginning, we were very close. We were visiting each other very often. And we were keen to even mentor our children.
Yes.
But unfortunately, he became sick and he passed on. If it is the one who was my best mate,
yes,
she's still there. And we talk a lot, especially over the phone. Yeah.
Wow. So to date, you have maintained the friendship.
Yeah, we have maintained the friendship. But we have maintained our friendship more with the other couples.
Okay. So you had other couples.
We had other couples within that who are who are in the team of that what do we call it?
Nowadays they call those support groups.
Yeah,
they were part of the bride's
yeah, in fact some are even more supportive.
Wow.
Yeah, and since we were friends even before, we have formed now a group of these couples, which we call interfamilia.
Yeah.
Whenever anything happens, we meet.
I understand that so many marriages are failing today. And considering you've been long into marriage, what advice would you give to the people who are getting married now?
Yeah, when people are getting married, yeah, I feel preparation, that pre-marriage stage, during courtship, you solve a lot of problems. You understand this person, you understand this woman, you understand where she is coming from, where he is coming from, and whether there were any issues, even in the family, because sometimes issues are brought by the families of one of them,
the extended family.
Yeah, it is good to be friends with them, like us. They all knew us. Yeah, you know, courtship period was long, so we visited the parents, the siblings. Yeah. We knew each other. My mother didn't even know who of us. Yeah. My husband was coming to visit, because the one who follows me she was also mature. So when he came, my mother, we confused our mother. Yeah. Who is he coming for? So we knew, and we knew and sometimes he would intervene to even solve problems that would be facing the family. Yes. So that preparation, that knowing each other, is very important. Okay. And I know somebody discovered that the husband she married was a great thief.
My goodness.
Was even involved in
before marriage.
Yeah, in a bank robbery of Baroda Bank, you know, one of those big banks. What? And she discovered after 6 months. They had to, she could not bear it. And it was, robbery with violence. And she became scared. She had not studied. Yeah. And they went to the DC's office. They never went to church. They never visited the parents. Yes. And I think it is a man who was pushing her. Wow. If you see this man is not ready to visit with the parents, is not ready to meet your relatives, you should be suspicious and cut it off early. Yes. Before it is too late. So what I hear is that there is need for accountability. There is need for that. Yes. There is need to know the background of somebody. Where is he coming from? Yes. Why is she coming from? So that you are not caught by surprise. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I know that you could go on and on and on about talks on marriage, on education, on career. Yeah. So let me ask Mrs. Mbugua or Dr. Naomi, what are your hobbies?
Oh, my hobbies.
As we wind up, yes.
Yeah, my hobbies, mostly, I don't know whether to call them a hobby, but they are side interests. Yes. I like mentoring. Yeah, mentoring young people. Wow. Even like her age. Yes. I like mentoring even people of her age.
Yeah, we have a small girl behind the scenes.
Yeah. Like there are many, like in my social show, yes. You know those small graduates. Sometimes there are things they are not told by their parents.
That's true.
When they come to visit me, I tell them, and they go and tell the mother, so was telling us this. Yeah. Especially these days. Yeah. These people are maturing this early.
That's true.
You find a child like this one getting a baby. You see.
That's true.
Yeah, you have to tell them. To tell them that let them put their education first. Let them what might happen to their bodies. Yeah. And then someone might take advantage of that. Yes. I told one of my gashosho, she was 9 years, and when the mother ran back, she told me what you told her. And do you know, it has happened.
What?
Before she was 10.
What happened? What happened before she was 10?
She started having
periods.
Periods.
Wow.
Just when she was 10.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, nowadays I think girls are really
and
maturing.
The mother had not told her before that. Yes. Me, I would tell her everything.
At 10.
And as a teacher, you are not even shy.
That's
you are able
true.
to explain.
That's a good thing about being a teacher.
Yeah. And therefore, mentorship is my role. And I told you that there are some people who are mentored even around here. There was a girl I mentored since she was in primary school, even as she went to high school, even as she went to the university. We were very close.
So you
she
had
would ask me
stories.
anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And she is a success because, she was able to be free and asking me things that was caring to her.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that means...
So mentoring young people is one of my interests. In fact, that is what made me become a teacher. Okay. And of course, I like reading. Reading them. Like there is power in the tongue. Okay. It's very motivating. Our tongues are very bad. They can be very can destroy influence you. Yeah. They can even destroy your family. Just the tongue. And the motivation books like it goes in life. This we call it visionary. Okay. Yeah. There are many. Yeah. Like if you come to my house, you find many of them on the shelf.
I should come visit your house
so that I get many. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, parenting, anything to do with the parenting. Okay. I have quite a lot. They are on the parenting.
So you can
mentoring people, and you can see even the topic I picked for research was adolescent mothers, teenage, and so on. Some of them have continued. I was asking them, I was interviewing them, but some would ring me later and asking me things, although I was just doing my research. Yeah. So that's what my concern is, young people. Yes. And I read anything on young people. I read about the families, anything to do with the family, I read. And that is what I used to give to my children when they were small. Yes. I couldn't talk to them about everything. I would go to Catholic bookshop. There are very many books for young children like this one. Yeah. Yeah. About the alcohol abuse, all those drug abuse, anything. Yes. And I would give them to read. Wow. And I told them, if you read and you find you want to ask anything, come and ask. Wow. So because I can't tell them everything that is in a book. But they will read and then they come and ask you questions. So you also encourage on open parenting. Open parenting, communication. Yes. Let them grow knowing who they are. Let them know about the dangers in life and so on. From the parents. And the one important thing is to become afraid. Wow. Afraid of your children. Be friendly to them. Yes. Be afraid. They are not just my children. They are my friends. And sometimes we go out with them, go to a place like this one. Yes. Near Fort Smith. Okay. We would sit there for like 3 hours. Wow. With one of them. And there is one who has said she would like to come and sit with me there. Wonderful. Yeah. Wow. And then we talk. So how are you balancing between being a disciplinarian and being a friend to your children? Because when I'm disciplining them, yes, I would assure them it is for their own good. Okay. It is for their own good. So did you used to beat them? Yeah, I would beat them. Okay. I would beat them, but tell them it is the rod of Jesus Christ. Oh wow! That rod, and you are not so you are not harming. Yes. That beating is not like the way some people beat. It was there. They will feel a bit of pain, but they will not repeat that again. Yes. Because spare the rod, spoil the child. And spoil the child. So they used to respect you as a parent and as a friend. They knew the boundaries. They knew the boundaries. Yes. I have to teach them the kind of friends they should make. You see? Because many people are misled by their friends. Yes. So their friends are good. Yeah. They would also be our friends. Wow. Yeah. Now there's one challenge that I know most people are going through, especially the young people, considering that you have a passion for young people. You've been able to manage your finances, to know what to buy, when to buy it. What is that advice you'd give to a young person who's new in their career, who's trying to save up, who's trying to understand how to spend on their finances? What would be your advice? My advice is what are they planning to do? Okay. They have to lay down their plans, and whatever they are going to do, they should have a capital maybe for it. Yeah. They are planning a career. Sometimes you are not able, the career is not so smooth. You should be, what we have taught them is to save.
Yes.
Even when we give them pocket money, even if it is 100 shillings, save. You learn to save. And we used to make these schemes where you can put in some coins, especially in early stages. The coins were very important. That's what our parents used to teach us. You learn to save. And even if the people who work for me, like the house helps, I have taught them to save. And I know anything can happen. And there is that story, I think you have read it, that a housewife who has a husband, he is the one who was working. The lady was not working. Whatever she was given to do shopping, she saved a little. And then the husband lost his job all of a sudden. And the wife told him, but life cannot come to an end. I have some money. You stay. There is a book you have wanted to write all your life. Just write it. And then the husband asked, and then what are we going to eat? You know the money you have been giving me, I have saved so much. She had saved a lot since the husband started working. And she was not working. She was looking after the children. And they were able to survive until the husband finished writing the book.
Wonderful.
So saving is very important.
So I should probably get a person who is in the finance department to tell us of the new ways of saving, because I hear there is things like compounding your money. You don't just put your money aside nowadays.
There are many ways of saving.
I understand your book is underway. When do we hope to
writing? I have not been well. When I started, I was not well. So I have put it on hold until maybe it will take, maybe by the end of next year. We
wish you all the very best. We hope to get a hold of it once you're done writing it. And thank you so much for taking your time to share your life story. I'm sure somebody somewhere will learn something from this story. And we're also very happy to know that you still do mentorship to date.
Even now.
So anybody who feels the need to talk to you, probably who's not able to talk to their parents, and I understand also you can do career guidance.
Even the career guidance.
So I'm happy to know that if in any case somebody needs your help, they can,
especially those who are not getting jobs.
Because actually it's good you mentioned that before we conclude. There are people who are really complaining about job searching. What do you think is the problem nowadays, and what is the solution really?
It's not aiming at only getting a job. Be creative.
Wonderful. I like
that. Be creative and you create your own job.
I love that.
Because if you look to be employed in an office, you'll be disappointed.
That's true.
Get stories. Like the one who, if you have done journalism and you are not getting, get stories to sell to the media. And they will pay you.
So we don't always need to look for jobs. You can be job creators.
And there are many people who are making it without the jobs. And they are very well educated, but they are creating their own jobs. And during the corona, we were shown in the TV people who are teachers and they were not teaching. And they went on to other things. They created their own jobs. They created their own business. And it was shown there in the TV. Just be open-minded and try to create your own job.
Wow. Amazing.
You don't look to go to the office all the time. They are not there.
I can't think of a better parting shot than what she said to us. She's been quite a resource. We've taken our time to share what we thought was important for you to hear. If in any case you need guidance in terms of career, you can tell she's of help. In terms of marriage, I'm sure she can offer a lot of advice. We are happy to have had you on this platform. Thank you for coming.
It's a privilege.
God bless you so much.
That is a privilege. So I am really grateful for that.
Thank you. Amazing.
Thank
Bye,
you so
guys.
much. Thank you so much.
Till next time.
Yes. Thank you.